Throughout the course of the show, well, talk to me about how you got to direct the episode last night. I know you've directed a feature film prior, and I think some other episodic work as well.
I have.
But in 20 years, this is the first episode of Curb that you've directed. How did that come about?
Larry called me and asked me if I was interested in directing one of the episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was really surprised, and
had you pitched yourself before to do it, or
no. But I had been talking to him about I was getting ready to direct a feature film, so we'd been talking about it, and then I got a phone call from him, and it was like, wow, yes, I would like to. So that's how it came about.
Now, directing an episode of Curb is obviously, I mean, you have a ton of experience because you've been there for so long. You see how it's done. But it's a lot different than directing a feature film, or I imagine like the feature film you directed before, in the sense that you are improvising a lot and directing improvisation. How did you find it?
Well, the challenging thing about directing an improvised show is that you have to have a camera on both people in the scene at the same time, because you don't know what anybody's going to say. So if I said, "Oh, my aunt died," I need to have your reaction to it, and because there are no lines, you might overlap something while I'm saying something. So you have to have two cameras going, at least at the same time, covering each person. And usually when you're directing something or shooting something, you shoot one side of it and you have it all lit very beautifully, and you
turn it around.
And then you turn it around. Yeah. But on Curb, it's different. You light the whole thing, and you don't know what characters are going to say or do, where they're going to walk, or if they're going to sit down or not. So you kind of have to be ready for everything.
Is part of the, not necessarily difficulty, but the challenge of directing Curb is knowing how far to push it? Like, for instance, in the episode last night, the scenes with Larry's new lawyer felt pushed much further than previous scenes with him, which I loved. It was like, how far can we take this disagreement between these two men? This subtle, weird, like nothing disagreement between the two of them, and just keep it going and going and going until like it really has to end.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I mean, I think that's the essence of Curb, is that line that you cross. Like, most people in real life, if we were getting on each other's nerves, we'd probably like find an exit. An exit. But yeah, those two in the office, neither wants to back down, and neither one of them is gonna find a good way out. And that's what's exciting about it, because you let it go, and then in the editing room you figure out what's too far.